Hey, Sia, you're welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. My first question to you is what makes a great artist to you?
I think someone who is forward-thinking and innovative,
Mm,
but also humble and kind and, open to learning and sharing experiences.
mm. My second question to you is how does the royalty process work as in the music scene when you want to make sure that your music is properly done and all the tracks are proper, if that makes sense.
So, as an independent artist,
Mm,
you can, I mean, we could speak about this all night, but I'll run through it as briefly as I can. But
uh-huh,
basically, obviously, as an artist, you'll create music and you can sign it to a record label, and who will then send it over to a distributor, who will then distribute it to all
mm,
major platforms like your Spotify or
mm,
Beatport, Traxsource, Apple
mm,
Music, Instagram.
mm,
And
mm,
basically, what the distributor does is collect those royalties on the rights holder's behalf.
mm,
And
mm,
there's various different types of royalties. So you get obviously royalties from streaming and download. You get
mhm,
royalties from neighboring rights, which is like your radio.
mm,
You get sync licensing, which would then be when your music is used to be sent to for radio adverts or on TV, and mechanical
mm,
licenses. It's yeah, it's
mm.
we could dive deep,
It's a
but
whole
basically
it's a whole
what
process.
exactly, and I'm still learning every day. But
Absolutely.
basically, the distributor will collect those royalties on your behalf, and then we will pay that out
Mm,
to to the various rights holders. So usually to the record label, then
mm.
the record label will take their percentage, and then it gets sent. The percentage of royalty gets sent to the artist.
That's beautiful. My other question to you is, how did you get into the music industry? Like, what inspired you to like say this is what makes me truly happy. This is my happy place. Yeah.
So when I was in high school, I used to sell tickets for all the parties that were happening in Joburg. And I think from then on, I obviously fell in love with music
Mm,
and the events industry,
mm,
and yeah, sold tickets throughout my high school career. And then in my first year of varsity, I started working for G&G Productions,
mhm,
who host Rage Festival.
mhm,
And working for them throughout my degree, I just fell deeper and deeper in love with the art of DJing and music, of course.
mm,
And it really pushed me to learn, or yeah, it encouraged me to want to learn how to DJ.
mm,
And luckily, I had a few friends who were able to help and offered their guidance and equipment. And
mm.
yeah, from the moment I stepped in front of a pair of CDJs, I was like, this is it. This is what I want to do. So yeah, it was really the events industry for sure.
It makes sense because I feel the same thing. I feel the same way every time. And
Amazing.
I feel the way that you feel. So,
So
my
how
other
did you get
question
into
for you,
it?
I actually I fell in love with it because I was generally like I wanted something that feeds the soul of me, like because I knew there was something unique about me, and other projects, other jobs would not work for me. It's like yeah, it would not like
Yeah,
it wouldn't fit the way I wanted it to. So and just music
amazing.
just fit. So yeah.
Amazing. Well, you're doing so well, and it's awesome that we get to share this passion.
Absolutely. My other question to you is, Mad, what advice would you give up and coming artists that really are passionate and really eager to get into this music industry?
I would say dedicate time every single day,
Mm,
whether it's 5 minutes or 15 minutes or 5 hours. I think
mm,
the amount of time you put in really reaps rewards.
Mm-hmm.
And don't be scared to push the boundaries and, try play different sounds. And I think putting a focus and interest in production is also important. I think
Yeah.
there's making music is a really important aspect of being
Mm-hmm.
in this, well, as a DJ, being in this industry.
In general,
But
yeah, makes
also
sense.
another thing that I didn't know until after I've sort of finished my degree was how many jobs there are within the music industry.
Yeah.
Like you think, well, I thought at least when I was growing up that there's only really DJ or music producer or
Yeah.
music teacher, but there's so many
Mm-hmm.
avenues of jobs within the music industry. So don't be scared to explore. If making music and DJing can't be your sole source of income, then explore other opportunities within the music business world. There's amazing websites online where you can look for jobs. And yeah, it's really amazing to see how many avenues there are within this beautiful industry. So yeah, just be intrigued and don't stop searching and learning. And yeah, that's what I'd say.
Absolutely. My other question to you is, I've always wanted to know this. Why did you want to move to Cape Town? And what made you make that decision? If that makes sense.
Yeah, of course. So I was playing a lot of shows in Cape Town, to be honest. I was during season, so from about like September to March, I was flying up to Cape Town almost like every weekend, every second weekend, and the shows that I was playing in Cape Town, I was really enjoying. And yeah, my partner who I live with, he works for a company that's based in Cape Town, and he was traveling up to Cape Town a lot. So both of us were actually up and down between Cape Town and Joburg.
Mm,
So yeah, it almost just made sense to move there.
mm,
Um,
mm,
both him and I also have only ever lived in Joburg, so we just
mm,
wanted to take a leap and see where it goes from there. And yeah, just try something new. We had the opportunity to. So yeah, it's been amazing. I've already got to play some incredible shows, and a lot of my friends are in Cape Town as well. So it's awesome to be able to see my friends more often, because they're
mm.
living down here. So yeah, it just made sense. It's where my people were, and the shows that I was playing here was cool. And even though my family is in Joburg and I miss them a lot, I can always travel back. At least it's not that far away.
Absolutely. My other question to you is, two things you can't live without, like, in the sense of, like, whatever it is, but you can't say the usual things because yeah,
What are the usual things?
family and all
Oh,
the other things.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say my people. I can't live without my people, like my
Yeah.
friends and family. But other than that, other than that, materialistic things, probably coffee and music. Surely music. I mean, come on.
Makes sense. Makes sense. I could live with that. My other question to you is, yeah, 100%. My other question to you is, why did you want to work for a distribution company, and what have you learned from this experience? Yeah, if I'm wrong, if yeah.
No, you're 100% right. Yeah. Um, so um, after I left the events industry, I felt, because I was DJing and then working in the events industry, and to be honest, yeah, it was just like the working so closely in the events and then playing at them too. It was almost like taking away from like my purpose and values, and I felt like I had to explore another avenue of the music world and the
Mm-hmm.
music industry.
Mm-hmm.
And so in 2020, Ryan Murgatroyd asked me to work for his record label, Swoon Agency, and I had really no experience in record labels or music distribution or anything, but I had a business degree and I had, some industry experience and willingness to learn.
Mm-hmm.
So he really taught me a lot over the 2 years that I worked for him in terms of the release process and that whole what it takes from an artist creating a song to actually getting it out on the platforms. How do you promote it? What's that core process? Is a process of steps you have to follow. And I was drawn to it. It intrigued me, and it really excited me being able to be behind the scenes of helping an artist grow and helping them promote their music and actually giving a song the best possible chance.
100%.
And after working for Ryan, I found this job at Labourwork, and it really, really excited me because I got to now, going from working at a record label, go and work for a distributor and see exactly what happens in terms of music distribution, and it was just, yeah, so interesting to me and still is to this day, and it's really exciting. And I think, yeah, it was just important for me to have a 9 to 5 in the music business world, and yeah, I think obviously it's not for a lot of people to have, their passions and then their like day job all mixed together. But for me, it's like a dream come
It
true,
just
and I'm
it just fits.
yeah,
It just fits like a glove.
exactly, and I'm super super grateful for it because my whole life is just music, and I'm very lucky to have that, and I'll never take it for granted.
My other question to you, because you've had so much experience in the event space and everything, and you have a business degree and all the incredible places. All right, so four important things people should look for when before they decide, okay, we want to do an event or a pop-up experience or something like that. So something creative. What do they have to look for? What are the most important elements, if that makes sense?
Um, so I think it's important to catch people's attention
Mm.
and almost have a call to action, So if you want people at your event or if you want people to listen to your music, you need to make it known why people should be at that event or why they should listen to your music.
Mm.
There's obviously no right or wrong way in doing it.
Mm.
And, sometimes you'll put in so much time and effort and it'll be a miss, but sometimes, it'll be an absolute hit.
Mm-hmm.
So I think staying ahead of the game in terms of creativity and just sparking interest in new and exciting ways
Mm.
and being unique, being different, not being scared to put yourself out there, put your name out there.
Mm.
I think a lot of people get stuck creatively. They have like a creative block when they're a bit scared to
Mm.
market or promote themselves. And yeah, I think just shamelessly being yourself and putting your brand out there is step one for sure.
Absolutely. My other question to you is, if you could have a law in the music industry, what would your law be?
If I got to choose a law,
Yes.
sure.
If you could create one. If you could create one, yes, if you could create one, what would it be and why would you create it?
That's a tricky question, I'm not gonna lie.
Yes.
um,
But think. You can just think it or you can just tell me to skip it.
no, I'm not gonna skip it. I think, to be honest, and what I
Mm.
see more and more of recently is the law that I would implement is no cell phones on a dance floor for
Mhm.
all dance floors, because
Wow.
you see so many people like taking videos and obviously some clubs like Modular and Toy Toy
Mm.
and Club, they implement that rule already. But
Mm.
I think music is about being in the moment and living in the moment. And it just upsets me so much when you see all these cell phones on a dance floor taking videos. I know and I understand, and I'm guilty of taking videos on a dance floor myself too, especially when you're watching one of your favorite artists or
Yes.
DJs.
Like,
But
yeah, no, and then you'd be like, okay, I want to meet them. I'm like, you don't want to be that kind of person, but also I'm like, I understand what you mean, because you don't want to like, you don't want to do that moment, miss the moment because you're busy taking photos and all that. So I understand what you mean.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we should make a law that you're allowed one photo or video per person.
Yes, absolutely. I think
And
that's
then,
only fair.
yeah, and then tucked away. So you have one little memory, but you're not on your cell phone the whole
Yeah,
night.
absolutely. Because I and my other question to you is, what do you think the industry should do more of, or create more of, in the scene, if in your perspective?
Um, this is also a tricky question.
I'm sorry. I don't want to, I didn't need
No,
to
it's okay.
accuse,
It's
but
good. It's good. You're getting my brain going after a work day.
absolutely. Okay.
I mean, I think this is it's particularly relevant at the moment, but
Mm,
being inclusive on lineups,
mm,
and
mm.
I don't like using the term like female DJ or,
Yo, no. I
but
hate it. I hate it too. I hate it too. It's
yeah,
just,
I,
yeah.
I don't like
Continue.
that term, but I just mean in terms of being conscious of having an inclusive lineup,
Mm,
you know. I think that's an important way forward. It doesn't mean that it
mm,
has to be all female or 50-50 or whatever. I think
mm.
it's just important to give new
Equal.
artists on the scene and equal opportunity. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Yeah. Because I generally think we could be a better, like, we are already doing incredible, like, these incredible events and incredible people that are truly passionate in the music industry. And yeah, no, I completely agree. um my other question to you is, if you could create a track that defines the kind of artist you are and the person that you are, to those who don't really know you but want to know you, how
Yeah.
how how would it sound?
So I think it would have to be at about, it would have to be between the tempo of like 110 and 120.
Yes.
So I would say like 116, 117 BPM.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be a little bit electro, a little bit housey, a little bit techno-y. I like
Mm-hmm.
that minimal sound.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely has to be a sexy vocal in there, absolutely. um,
Absolutely. I don't dispute that at all, because I
I,
can
I,
I
I,
can feel that.
absolutely, I love a vocal. So yeah, I would say that describes the type of track that would describe me and the sound that I love.
Mm,
But yeah, I've been working on some music with one of my best friends,
mm.
and yeah, hopefully can then play that to you later in this year.
Absolutely. Um, my other question to you is, um, what, what would, what advice would you give your younger self, in a sense of just, like, in the sense of just create the creative scene, creative space, if that makes sense?
Um, I think I'd say to my younger self, ignore stereotypes. They
Mm,
don't exist.
mm,
I felt like when I was younger, I would always try and fit into a certain type of person, which is
mm.
absolute bullshit. You can be whoever you want to be. It doesn't matter who you are, where you come from. You can do whatever you feel your heart desires.
As long as you
And
put in the work, as
exactly,
long as you put in the work, and you surround yourself with the right people, like right
exactly,
energy, right, your attitude is your attitude, you're humble, you
exactly.
just there. Yeah.
Exactly. And the thing is, if you manifest what you want and you work hard for it,
Mm.
and like you say, you humble and kind and you work hard and you meet the right people and network with the right people, there's no limit. So yeah.
My other question to you is, what how do you pronounce your name? Because I'm like very so is it, yeah, so yeah, just because I'm not sure.
So,
So how do you pronounce it? Because is it Afrikaans? Is it Italian?
so my dad,
I'm sorry.
no, my dad is Serbian.
Uh-huh.
So you pronounce it Natasha. So you still pronounce it as if the H was included in the name.
Uh-huh.
I know it throws people off. It's just the Serbian spelling of my name. So
Uh,
on my like on my Serbian passport, that's how you spell my name.
uh-huh.
But the S with the accent on the S is pronounced sh, so it's Natasha or
Natasha.
Natasha. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Because I'm like, I didn't mean to make you feel that. I was just making, I just wanted to make sure because
No,
I don't like to.
it's good to ask. It's good to
I
ask.
don't
You
want
should
to.
always ask questions.
Absolutely. My other question to you is, um, if um, if you could collaborate with anybody, who would it be and why?
With this producer called Is Home,
Mm,
she's an amazing Russian music producer.
mm,
I'm obsessed with her and her
mm,
music.
mm.
So her, number one.
Absolutely. My other question to you is, why do you think collaborations are so important and back to backs? Why are these elements so important in the music scene?
Oh, that's a good question. I think collaboration is so important because you'll always learn something from the person you're collaborating with, you know, and whether it's in a back to back or whether you're sitting in studio together,
Mm,
you will always learn something from that person. And I realize this every single time I sit down with anybody, whether
mm,
they know more than me or less than me, you know. And I've sat in studio with people who have been making music for 30 years, and I've sat in studio with people who have been making music for 2 months,
mm,
and from both of those people I've learned something new, you know.
mm,
So I think going into a collaboration or back to back, go with an open mind and eagerness to learn, and you'll always take something away from that.
mm. That's beautiful. That's absolutely amazing. My third to last question, like I'm doing three questions more, because I really am enjoying this. This is literally a dream come true because it's been a long time coming, but things
We have
happen,
been trying to
and
talk for a while.
yeah, but yeah, but this is generally a dream come true. My other question to you is, what what would you like, how would you describe the sound of the person that you like, if you could create a event that describes kind of the person that you are in the kind of the event space, how what would it be, and how would you curate it, because you have so many things, you've done so many things, and yeah, so if that makes sense.
Oh, this is exciting. It would have to be like a festival. I don't think there's enough time in one day to curate a lineup of all the sounds that I love and sort of associate with me.
Mm,
But would definitely kickstart with some down tempo because I love down
mm,
tempo. I love that slow, chuggy, groovy
mm,
sound.
mm,
It would then move into like more house and minimal and electro because I love playing that and I love that sound as well.
mm,
And from there into like the, more groovy,
mm,
fast-paced techno.
mm.
And I think to end off the night, we'd have to end off with some drum and bass, which I don't play, but it's my absolute first love. And drum and bass is actually the genre that got me into electronic music, so have to include that for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I generally think I love drum and bass, and people think I'm like people think I'm crazy for loving for drum and bass. But
No,
drum and bass is super special. I think we just need more underground, more techno, more drum and bass, more things that are just gonna make you go like, what is this? But so make you still dance.
it's
Yeah.
So much fun,
It's
it's so
so
much
much fun
fun.
as
You can
well.
just let loose and have a party.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. My second to last question to you is, what what can how would you describe the kind of sounds that you listened to growing up that have defined that have helped you grow as an artist?
So the sounds that I listened to and music that I listened to growing up was definitely heavily influenced by my dad.
Mm,
Um, he used to listen to rock, but also like all types of music.
mm,
He really was like, you know, he would listen to so many different genres and really, I think, helped me grow and appreciate and listen to so many genres. But
mm,
I mainly listened to like indie rock. I was, yeah, super into my rock and indie rock.
mm,
And I mean, my dad, we used to get my dad like the Now CDs for Christmas,
mm,
So those Now CDs used to be my favorite. I would like rip them onto my MP3 player.
mm,
So I think that definitely um, influenced a bit of what I enjoy and listen to now. But
mm.
I mean, those were obviously, like top hits and stuff. But
Absolutely.
yeah, I'd say mostly rock and indie rock, and then definitely drum and bass. I mean, my dad didn't listen to drum and bass at all, but when I started like jolling on my own and going out to parties, it would be like drum and bass events. So that definitely influenced the sound that I listen to now and play.
Absolutely. My last question to you is, what's the best way to brand yourself in any aspect? It doesn't have to be the music scene, but generally like in the creative scene. If you want to make sure that people um you have the right target audience and everything. So how do people go about that, if that makes sense?
Um, I think the first place to start is making sure that your press kit is professional and neat. Maybe getting some professional photos done. Maybe
Mm,
you have your bio and an EPK that includes everything about you and the sound that you play, and
mm,
you know that personal branding about yourself.
mm,
And yeah, then just making sure that obviously we live in a digital world now, and social
mm,
media is unfortunately an important aspect of our lives.
mhm,
I think making sure across platforms that your personal brand is professional and neat and clean across Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever, SoundCloud, just making sure there's consistency amongst the platforms.
mm.
And then, I don't know, just being different, getting some merch done. Maybe I saw you have beautiful t-shirts, or maybe business cards, or a USB with your mixtape, or just doing something innovative and different, and
So that you can
making sure
stand
that,
out. Mm,
yeah, exactly,
mm.
exactly.
Makes sense. It really does. This has been an incredible chat. I honestly